Thank you so much. And yeah, having Gertrude in my life, it's been really having a little bit of home. Like in Germany, I'm in touch, my godchild is African. I had an African boyfriend. And I always thought, you know what? I think God made a mistake. My skin's supposed to be black, but somehow he turned me white. And I'm the whitest in the family. Like, my mom gets quite dark. They're all white, but they get quite dark. And I'm the, Cancer person who just gets red. And I thought, must have been a mistake. There was something wrong. But I found a little bit of her meeting Gertrude, which was beautiful. So I'm really excited to be here. And I took a little bit of that, comment with the color. So I changed. So I've got a little bit more red, a little bit more color going on here to kind of, bring more energy through. So I want to share with you my story. And my story started as a total optimist. As you can tell, maybe, no matter how bad it is, I will tell you what's good about it. And I was born into a family, and while I, around teenage age, my dad became manic depressive. And when I grew up, I was daddy's girl. We did everything together. We were really close. But when I became a teenager, the whole thing flipped, because before that I had a really difficult relationship with my mom, but then it flipped. And the dad I used to know, which was so loving and caring and taking care of me and being my buddy, like being the person I can trust and talk to, was not there anymore. Like, he just kind of disappeared. All of a sudden, when he was manic, he was this mean person. He would come attack me. He would call me names. He even called me a hoe. I am a hoe now, but for other reasons, and I will explain that later. So, he called me all those horrible things, and it took me really a long time. And I saw myself a long time as a victim, and I was always talking to a lot of people, sharing my story. And actually that, I think, was what kept me sane. Because sharing my story, I knew it wasn't because of me. I knew I wasn't the one who was taking it all wrong, and I should just, light up and be happy. I knew that, the way our family was just not the way it meant to be. And I felt very often like a stranger in our own house. Like, I felt like I don't really belong there. And yeah, there was a time where I also, wanted to take the exit route, because I thought, well, I feel like I'm in a hotel at home. And it didn't work. I vomited all night. And then I thought, well, if God doesn't want you to die, you're not going to freaking die. You got things to do. You have a mission to fulfill. So get your ass together and get moving. So another thing, what happened out of that whole experience, I had a pattern. I was picking people like my dad to be my partner. So, and it took me always around 3 months to realize that I did it again. And for a while, I didn't know it was a pattern. So I was you would give me a classroom of guys, and I would pick you the worst, the ass in the group, right? And I would say, yeah, he's so exciting. I really should meet him. He's going to be awesome. And 3 months down the road, I got mentally, emotionally abused. I got physically abused at some stage. There was one guy, and it was the first one, he didn't cheated on me. And when we went on holiday, he actually shut me in a hotel room, and he hit me, and he started flirting with this other girl, and just like really put me down in front of people. And that was really the breaking point, where I thought, never again let anyone allow to walk over me in that way. And all my friends, they didn't really understood, because I always came out and I looked so sure about myself. I was very expressive, and everyone thought, I have great self-worth. So everyone was really confused how I could end up in a relationship where someone would walk over me like that. And the truth was that, yes, I was very expressive and out there, but deep down, I didn't felt I was worth it. I didn't thought I was good enough. I was, yeah. How can I be good enough if my own father couldn't love me the way a father should love their daughter? Sorry. I really thought I had cried that story out enough, but sometimes it just wants to come through. And yeah, that was a real wake-up moment because I realized there is something within me holding me back, and it's me not feeling good enough. So I really went on a journey, and part of my journey, well, part of my strategies is escapism. So I bought a ticket to Australia, and I decided I'm going to go overseas for a year, and I'm going to be, work and travel. And I was very blessed. I arrived in Australia, and my main goal was to speak English because I'm from Germany, and I wanted to speak English because I used to sing, and I thought it would be great if I would understand what I'm singing about, and I could make the right faces to the words I'm saying. So, because sometimes I would think about really sad thing and smile, and people would like, she doesn't get the connection. So I arrived in Australia, and I was very blessed because I actually joined a family, and I was first really concerned about it because I thought, oh God, I just got away from a crazy family, so I don't want to do that again. But I thought, okay, if I really want to learn English, I have to put myself in an English environment. And I was sharing the room with 6 Germans. So, you can guess. I would always let them speak because they were speaking English. So I ended up in this beautiful family, and that was really the biggest blessing for me because this family was so intact. The father was so loving, and the way they worked together as a family was so beautiful and loving and caring, and they really took me on like a third child. And the father, he was so thoughtful when I would date. He was like, oh, you got to introduce this guy first, and I got to check if he is good enough for you. And he would say things I would expect from my own dad, but I got it I got it from him. And that really made me realize that this is what I want. And I know it's out there. I know you can have that beautiful family living, that respectful togetherness, and creating this relationship. So I went on my path and really wanted to heal. And someone in a spiritual world said, well, if you really want to heal, you got to forgive your father for all the things he did. And I thought, great. I was standing there, and I was joining a workshop from Ina Segal, body language. And, she asked for a participant to join if they want to release something, or do something. And I was like, yeah, me. I want to forgive my dad. And while I was saying that, I was, bursting out crying. And she was like, are you sure you're ready to forgive him? Because there's still a lot of stuff going on. And I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And I want to move forward. And it took a while, I almost felt that there were layers of forgiveness I had to go over and over and over again. And sometimes if I spend more than 2 weeks with him, there's a new little layer I need to deal with. But on that journey, I started learning so much about myself. I learned, how to value myself. I learned how to forgive, and sometimes even what makes you think the unforgivable. And one of the main learnings I had, and I think that's a learning which I think is important for everyone, because I felt once you learn this, your life is limitless. And in NLP we call it cause and effect, and we invite everyone to live in cause. And a cause means that whatever you experience is your inner is your subconscious mind is speaking to you. So your creation, either it's good or bad, it's a 3D print of your subconscious programming and beliefs and all of that. So then I couldn't be the victim anymore, right? Like I had to look at myself and think, shit, what is it within me that I'm keep creating this scenario over and over again? Because I would have different scenarios, different cultures, different jobs they would come from, and always same ending. And I was like, okay. So the self-worth was a big part. Also not speaking out my truth, not really speaking up what I truthfully want. Because I want to have babies. I was getting to 30, my clock was ticking, and I was hearing it louder and louder. And it seemed like you're almost like a repellent, if you come, hi, my name is Linda, and I want to have babies. They're like, yeah, see you later. And they walk out, backwards, slowly to, get their way to the door. But I also learned that it's actually still really important, because I don't want to waste my time with someone who maybe doesn't want to have children. So while it was not the first thing I would say, I would pretty make clear, yeah, I'm looking for a serious relationship. And yes, I want to have children down the road. And I would learn to speak up. and tell my truth. Because what I realized while I was dating, if I would hear flags, red bells come and, ringing up and telling me, hold on, careful, I would ignore them because I would see everyone's potential. And everyone has potential. I really believe in that. Everyone has potential, but you will also see, and me working also sometimes as a nurse, and I worked in a hospice, a lot of people didn't even touch on their potential. So you can't really go in a relationship in, thinking of someone's potential. You have to be very realistic. What are they now? Are they actually even, interested in improving themselves? Because otherwise they're never going to get there. So I realized I would talk myself into relationships. I would tell myself why they're so good, until I learned, if you have to talk yourself into something, he's not the one. If you have to point out all the good things to cover up the bad, he's not the one. If you have to tell a story which is not 100% your own, then he's not the one. And for me, I realized, if I talk about saging and reading cards and he looks like I'm crazy, he's definitely not the one. So I went on a journey to Peru, to Hawaii, and I wanted to break all those layers, really, really let go. And I spent a week with shamans in the Amazon. I did an ayahuasca retreat, and that was very significant for me because it was literally like burned the way free to truly be who I was. And I had this light bulb moment where I thought, okay, I really want to have kids, which I knew. And I thought, okay, I give myself a cutoff 35. If I haven't found the right person with 35, I will get a donation. Like that, I can make sure I'm going to have my child no matter what. There will be no drama attached to that child because the child is from a donation. So there, no legal things which are crossing, or, no drama with any ex-partners or anything like that. And that was a moment I really took a deep breath, and I was like, sweet, now I can just do the things I really want to do. So I bought myself a surfboard. I was doing all the things I wanted to do. I always wanted to learn ballroom dancing. And before I go further, when I was living in Sydney, I was living with an Asian girl. And when I moved to New Zealand, I also lived with someone who was Asian. And there were a lot of differences, like German and Chinese culture, they're pretty much the opposite. Where Germans like up front, we put our flag up, we tell everyone this is what we do, this is what we're here for. Chinese is like the opposite. You don't say, definitely not front out, everything is in the back, no one will ever know, And I thought, like, God, I hope, I want to stay open. And I thought, God, give me a reason to like Chinese people. Like, I'm sure they're not all like that. So here I was, going dancing, ballroom dancing. And there were 3 girls without a partner, me included. And there was only one guy. And then, the guy stood on one side and the girl stood on the other side. And I saw this guy and, he was all alone. So I shimmied my way over because I thought I better stay opposite of him. We're kind of same height. So it was like, really good, chances he's going to pick me. And then the dance teacher invited everyone to, the boys come and choose the girl they want to dance with. I knew he was the only one not having a dance partner. So I was just sitting there and I was like, please pick me, please pick me, please pick me. And then he picked me. And we were dancing and had a really good, just got to know each other. And he is my Joe. And he is also my reason why, why I have so much more open love for Chinese people, because he is Chinese. And I thought, that was the least culture I thought I would end up with. And I thought, most Chinese people I met, they weren't even spiritual. So me talking about, my experience in the Amazon and stuff, and he was so open. And so he wanted to know more and he was asking so many questions. And short after, like, everything was just so easy, so effortless. And one day we were sitting in the car and I found out he was 5 years younger. I had no idea, but yes, I am a cougar. So we were sitting in the car and I told him, like, look, I need you to know something. I really want to have children because I think I was 32 or 31. And I said, like, I'm already in my 30s, you're in your 20s. So I totally get that if you don't want to have children. I'm just letting you know, if I'm 35 and you still don't want to have children, I totally get that. I accept that. But I will get a donation. And if you're really nice to me, I make sure I get an Asian one. So it looks a little bit like you. And he was just laughing, but I was dead serious. So I was really sticking to my roots, to what I wanted, what my dream was. And I think he respected me so much more for it. But fast forward, and not that much fast forward, a few months later, I found out I was pregnant. A few months after that, I think 6 months in, we got married. We have 2 beautiful children. We are married for more than 4 years now. And there are a few things I learned, which I just want to sum up for you. If you are out there and you're looking for your Mr. Right or Mrs. Right, or maybe for multiple rights, anything is possible. And I love that about life. Number 1 is really, don't dim your light. If that's your standard, stick to it. Have a clear list of, yes, that's what you want, and these are your no-goes. Make it your buying rules. Like you go and buy a house, these are your buying rules. And don't neglect it, stick to that. I really believe if we're putting out there what we want, the universe will deliver. We just need to be patient. And sometimes there's something within us we still need to work on to become that person, because you will be a reflection of that person. Number 2, what I also learned is, don't get advice from your heartbroken divorced friends. They really mean well, but they have no idea what they're talking about because they're just not there yet. I mean, it's like going to someone who just got, bankrupt and asking them for, financial advice or how to run a business. You wouldn't do that either, right? So, we need to be mindful where we get our advice from. They say happy, successful people. So successful in whatever you want to achieve. The next one, don't talk anyone up, stick to your buying rules and allow yourself to be who you truly are, because the world needs you the way you are. Because I believe we are a big picture and every one of us is a pixel. So if you try to be someone else, you're not fulfilling the beautiful picture because you're not being your own pixel. Thank you very much.